Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker. This Labor Day weekend, I really enjoyed myself. One of the things that I did was I went to the West Indian Day Parade out in Brooklyn. So it's been a while since I've been there. When I first started going, it was when I was a child back in the 70s. It was actually located in Harlem. They stopped the parade and then they moved it to Brooklyn. I wasn't sure why that was at that particular time. I did read a book later on that said that the reason why they did it was because they were trying to move black people out of Harlem. You see, back then, most of the homeowners in Harlem and also in many parts of Manhattan were owned by Caribbean people. Okay. So they basically were trying to prevent more and more Caribbean people from coming into Manhattan, and they figured they would just move the parade there to get more of those who are coming from the West Indies to move straight into Brooklyn, and also the ones who already had property in Manhattan to sell what they had and then move out there. Okay. Did it work? I would say yeah, they were pretty successful if that was the case, because our population here in Harlem is not as high as it used to be. It is a lot lower. Now, other resources that I've looked into said that the issue was due to permits. They were having issues getting a permit to do the parade or to continue doing the parade. Mind you, this parade started back in the 1930s. So the organizers felt that it was easier. And then since more Caribbean people lived in Brooklyn at that time than in Manhattan, that they would have the parade out there. Okay? I'm not sure why there would be a permit issue, since there are so many parades that actually already occur in Manhattan. And there are parades that do happen in Harlem as well. So I'm not clear as far as why it's an issue or why it was an issue at all. Needless to say, right now it's in Brooklyn. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I saw someone do a video as far as how the carnival that's held in Notting Hill, England, how it affects real estate out there. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about how the West Indian Carnival in Brooklyn affects real estate here in New York. Okay? So here is what I know and what I've noticed. Right? So when it comes to the value of homes, parades, the West Indian Carnival does affect the value of homes that are along the parade route. The parade route out there is Eastern Parkway. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it does make a difference. What is affected the most, honestly, is the rent and short-term rentals / Airbnb. Those are going to be higher, especially the short-term rentals and the Airbnb. Those are going to be higher than anything else. Those are affected most. Why? Because that particular parade brings in at least 2 million people every year. It never goes underneath that. And it hasn't been less than that in a long time. That's number one. Number two, it generates $300 million a year minimum. I believe that because I came to the parade really early. I was near two vendors And also, there was also a lot of cops around too. I didn't hang out too much at the other end of the parade. I was more near Brooklyn Public Library, Grand Army Plaza. I was more in that particular area. And from what I saw, those vendors left early. They left before the parade ended because real talk, they sold out before the parade ended. Their carts were completely empty. And honestly, if they wanted to sell that cart, they could have done that too. I mean, it was mad people out there for real. It really was. If I'm not mistaken, what beats the Brooklyn Carnival is the Mardi Gras Carnival out in New Orleans. That is actually the top grossing carnival festival in the United States of America. And then I think the next is like Coachella and whatever. But Brooklyn West Indian Carnival is like the top 5. I don't remember if it's number 4, if it's number 5, but it's like the top 5 when it comes to what festivals in New York, not New York, in the United States to attend to, which one brings in the most people and which one brings in the most money. It actually generates the most money and brings in more people than some of the celebrities that come to perform at many like places like Madison Square Garden and what have you, and even some sporting events. Sorry for the background noise, guys. I'm in the city. All right, so yes, that's why if you are an investor and you're thinking about where to invest, you might want to definitely seriously think about investing near these events. Now, right here in New York, in order to do an Airbnb, you would need to get a certificate. You see, most people who come to this event, and it's not just New York City residents, it's New York State residents, it's Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Jersey residents. People from other countries come specifically for this event, and they need a place to stay. But guess what? There's no hotels nowhere. Not on the parade route, and not a block away, 2 blocks away, what have you. Okay? So that's why having this type of investment is good. In New York, yes, in order to do Airbnb for less than 30 days, you need a certificate. However, that may be changing soon because a lot of homeowners of single family, 2-family homes, they have been lobbying steadily and they have been rallying so that particular law can be adjusted. So soon and very soon, we may see that you don't need, if you are a homeowner, to do that 30-day thing. Now, if you are a renter, as long as your lease, as long as there's not a sublet clause in there, you should be able to rent a room in your apartment and get some extra cash on that. That would be considered, it's not necessarily considered rental arbitrage, but in certain areas it is. Because like, let's say you stay, if you for example leave your apartment empty and you let a family stay there, then yes, that's definitely rental arbitrage. But if you stay in one room and you just rent out the other room, then that's subletting. So there is a slight difference between the two. Do you need a certificate for rental arbitrage? I believe you also would need one as well if you're going to do it for less than 30 days. Because most people who come for the parade, they're not coming for the whole month. They're only coming for the weekend, because the West Indian Carnival in Brooklyn is actually a weekend long event. It's really not just one day. The last day is just the main parade where you see all the different floats from all the different unions, federations, and what have you, costumes and whatever. But you have days where you have the steel pan band, you have another day for the children's competition, and then you have the adult competition before you have the actual parade, which is supposed to encompass everybody. All right. So it's a weekend long event, not just a 1 day event. So people are looking to stay there longer. The other reason why I say that this is a good area besides the parade is you have the Brooklyn Public Library, you have the Botanical Garden, and you also have the Prospect Park is there too. And Prospect Park, they have their own events that are held there. A lot of free concerts are held. I haven't seen too many with famous celebrities, at least not American celebrities like they used to have them in the past. Now it would be more like celebrities from other countries that are trying to make a name for themselves here in America, or there'd be like a lot of up and coming artists that perform there. There was a time when celebrating Michael Jackson's birthday was actually done in Prospect Park, which is right off of the Eastern Parkway. Well, at least a part of it is. Okay. So yes, I would say that when you're looking to expand, when you're looking to, if you're a real estate investor, when you're looking to go somewhere else to buy property that you're not going to live in, but you want to rent it out, you might want to consider being near festivals. Okay. And just so that you guys know, just in case you're curious, the festival that generates the most money in the entire world is the Carnival in Brazil. Yes, ma'am. That's a $1 billion generating carnival. Okay. The number one here in the United States, again, Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Okay. So again, you know, some of you might say, oh, Brooklyn is a bit expensive. Go somewhere else where it's a little bit cheaper, and know that you don't necessarily have to do it or go alone. Do some joint ventures, do some partnerships with someone else. Join a mastermind group where you can connect with someone who lives in the area that you're interested in investing in, and they can guide you a little bit better as far as, you know, where you want to be situated. But I'm telling you, being near festivals, being near anywhere where there's going to be a lot of live events, yes, it brings up the value of the property, not by too much, but it definitely, for sure, brings up the rent and the short-term rentals. And what you want to do is look for opportunity where demand is high, traffic is high, but supply is low. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share with you. Hopefully this information will help you make what? Smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.